Being young and dumb is all a part of growing up. However, there's a bunch of things that I wish I knew in my 20s about purchasing a house that, looking back now, would have been really helpful and put more money in my pocket. Hi, welcome back to another Coffee with Coleman. We love to discuss Washington, D.C., business, real estate, all that good stuff. My name is John Coleman, and I'm a real estate agent here in Washington, D.C. with the Jason Martin Group. Quick favor, if you are in your 20s or still wish you were in your 20s, go ahead and hit that like button. It's the fountain of youth from everything I hear. And if you're really enjoying this beautiful face, or this mug, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you'll be alerted each week when I release new videos. All right, so hindsight is 20/20. Unless you're in your 20s, in which case I'm telling you everything you need to know right now. I'm not saying buying a home in your 20s is absolutely what you should do, but I think it's important for you to know what your options are so you can make the best decision for yourself. So here are my 6 tips on what I think you should need to know about buying a house in your 20s. All right, number 1 is financing. And the common mantra of everyone, especially when parents are growing up and stuff like that, is that you need 20% down. And that's actually more exception to the rule than what people follow. If you look at the national data, you're gonna find that most 20-year-olds end up putting about 6% down. Once you get in your 30s, it's closer to 10%. Makes sense. Things are pretty expensive today. Also, the thing that you need to learn more about, and this is whether you live in DC or outside of DC, is there's always first-time homebuyer programs that can help subsidize the cost or help make things more affordable for you. Here in DC, I have plenty of videos on this stuff. You can talk about DC Open Doors, HPAP, EHAP, and other programs. In your area, there's probably other programs as well, and so you should reach out to a lender to figure out what that looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and link some of those videos below so you have direct access to them. Number 2, house hacking. Here's what I've always looked back on and wish I had done more of. Me and my roommates pooled our money together each month. We would pay our landlord to stay to live in the house. No doubt, that's how renting works. But I've had multiple clients now aimed to get slightly bigger homes than what they can actually afford. And what they've done is they've taken advantage of the programs that I mentioned previously to be able to get those houses. And then that allowed them to have more roommates. They then collected money from their roommates in order to pay their own mortgage. In some cases, and I'm not gonna call you guys out here because your friends will then know, but the roommates were actually paying the whole mortgage, meaning the homeowner was essentially living in the house for free. Of course, you assume the risk. You assume the responsibility to fix stuff, and if you don't have smart friends, they might be breaking stuff, and there's normal upkeep stuff that happens with homes, but along with it, you're building equity and you're getting taxable benefits. If I could go back and do one thing and concentrate on, this would have been it. If I could have gotten a house and then rented to my friends, I would be in a much better spot now because of that decision. Number 3 is knowledge up. Feed that curiosity. Just because you research doesn't mean you have to do it. However, putting yourself in a position to understand the pieces of the home buying process from start to finish means you get to stay nimble. You need to make a jump and do something if the offer is ever presented and there's a good deal somewhere. If you are interested in learning more about the process, I recommend reaching out to a professional and or finding out more information from things like this amazing YouTube channel. And just don't forget to hit that like button again, because then you'll be alerted more times when I release these kind of videos. And there are videos about the process itself, so they're already there for you. Number 4 is be less cool. This has nothing to do with anything besides keeping open to different locations. One of the things I see younger people do is lean towards living close to the action downtown as possible. I get it. I had way too much fun in my years, but the ability to find more bang for your buck is there. So as you start the discovery phase, I like to lay out the prices and I like to lay out what you're looking for in a place. And then we can go ahead and see what neighborhood fits the bill for the basics you're looking for in a house and the price range that you're working in a house. And from there, you can start to take time to visit the neighborhoods, go get brunch in those areas, start to learn more about them. Just because you haven't hung out there or been there doesn't mean they're not also cool. And if you're moving a little bit further away, there's a higher likelihood that you get that bigger house. So bullet point number 2 makes even more sense. Although you do have to convince them to move out there with you. So don't go too far away because then they have to commute more. So number 5 is knowing the extra costs. So there's more than just a down payment. You need to think about all the costs associated with the process. Things include moving, repair funds, getting new furniture because you have so much more room, and that's so often overlooked. You might have a lease overlap, and there's a bunch of things that you might need to be considering. So having a good sense of what your overall budget is going to help keep everything in perspective, because the last thing you want to do is drain your wallet to realize that then you need more money. Number 6 is aim for good, strong bones, not necessarily just the shiny and sparkly. Sure, we love those white on white subway tile kitchens and Carrara marble countertops. Keep it basic though. I generally find that getting a place with some solid bones, meaning it has a good roof and HVAC systems and foundation, can end up saving you on the front end of how much money you're actually going to end up spending. And then as you put money into the house over time, this equity, which they're going to call sweat equity, is going to help you make sure that the investment goes up even more from the time you purchased it to when you sell it. So that delta of what money you put in versus what you get out gets to be even bigger. All right, so it also helps to have an agent that knows condition of the homes and what to look for. That's going to save you some time, effort, and money. But most importantly, having a home inspector that is an A+++++ is super important as well. If you want to learn more about what happens in a home inspection, go check out that video. I'll link it below. So can I take a second and just say, like, man, if you're watching this and in your 20s, I wish I was in your shoes. My current house, when I was in my 20s, was $400,000 less than what I'd be able to sell it for right now. And that doesn't even factor into the equation that there would be 10 years of paying down that loan and getting the tax benefits of owning it. That's a lot of equity, and that can be life-changing, whether it's because you want to roll that into your next house or use that for some other retirement fund. I wouldn't just count on appreciation though, because it's been sort of nuts. Paying down the equity alone though could be that difference in building wealth as a young professional as you get going. And just remember, renting, if you're not putting it in your pocket, you're putting in someone else's. So you might as well put it in your own. All right, you whippersnappers, that's all I got for you today. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below. I'll try to address them there, or if it's a good idea, I might even turn it into my next video. Disagree with something? Put it in the comments below. I'm a big boy. I love hearing about what people think and why they might agree or disagree with this, and we'll chat through it. This is an open conversation, and that's why we love to use this format. All right, well, thanks again for stopping by another Coffee with Coleman. Peace.